This client wants to open a second location of their brick and mortar service-based business, and these are their financials. Now, before they go and open another location, there's some things they need to do to improve their profitability. Now, while they have a pretty solid cash on hand, the first thing that I notice is that as a percentage of revenue, their operating income or profit is only about 9%, so just under 10% of sales. Their gross profit margin is about 60%, which is solid, but the overall profitability is low given the amount of revenue that they have. So for most businesses, I like to target 30 to 50% of revenue for this operating income or profit number. But for brick and mortar service-based businesses, especially if the business owner is not also doing the work, like they have hired a manager to run the store without them, I'm generally okay if this number is around 20 to 25% of revenue. So fast forward a year, and this is what the client's financials looked like in year 2 after we identified the profitability issues from the starting point financial statements here. So you can see that between year 1 and year 2, they increased their revenue pretty substantially from a little over $1 million to 1.65 almost. But most importantly, they increased their profit from $100,000 to $350K, so a $250,000 increase in profitability, hitting 22% profit margin in just a year. Now, I will say their gross profit margin this year is down a little bit from here. I think this was from incorrect reporting because my team did not do these financials. I don't love gross profit margins under 60 to 65% if we can avoid it, but I'm okay with it because overall the business is profitable and we're finding that it is sustainable. Here's the number one thing that we did to help this business owner go from here to here. So before they went to open a second location, what I said to them was that we need to make sure that your business, your first location, has a sustainable, profitable, repeatable plan that you can take and replicate on location 2, so you don't go spend hundreds of thousands of dollars fitting up a second location and then end up not making any money. So there were a lot of levers that we pulled to increase profits from here to here, but the number one biggest thing that we helped this business owner identify was her revenue target. More specifically, not just a revenue target, but what that translated to in terms of capacity and utilization. So with a brick and mortar service-based business, they drive a lot of their revenue from client appointments. And of course, their team payroll also is dependent on appointments. And so we helped map out the model and the pricing structure and the targets for each of the different types of appointments that they offered so that they could set clear goals with their team and do the marketing campaigns that they needed to do to drive their sales numbers to increase without actually increasing their overhead costs.